Well, Sunday was a pretty great day for the majority of the handicappers here at the site, present company excluded. Yesterday did manage, however, to give you a free winner on Michigan and got a couple of free picks here for your Monday card as we kick off April. First one in the CBI tournament. The championship series gets underway tonight with Santa Clara hosting George Mason. I'm going to give you a free pick on that game. Plus, in baseball, go and take a look at the Braves-Phillies contest. Those free selections coming your way in just a moment. Got to talk about Brian Rosica, guys. You know, about a week and a half ago, he hit a little bit of a slump. And what did he do this weekend in the big dance? Nothing more than a 4-0 sweep. Cash in with the 50-dime play with Arizona getting the cover against Ohio State on Thursday night. Friday night, Michigan outright in overtime against Kansas. Saturday, Syracuse crushing Marquette. And then, of course, yesterday, Louisville taking care of business with ease against Duke. Total profit for the weekend. Let me just do some quick math here for you. 300 dimes of profit. 300 dimes of profit over the past 4 days. And today, he's right back, guys. Overall winner number 28 out of 36 and 13 out of 16 and number 5 in a row since Thursday. It's in the NBA tonight, the Pacers and the Clippers. Keep in mind that since he joined the site back on February 5th, it hasn't even been 2 full months. He's made $10 bettors, $15,565. $3,000 of that coming in the past 4 days. And again, tonight, Brian Rosica has to play on the Pacers and the Clippers. Anthony Red, and by the way, of course, yesterday, Sunday, you got Brian Rosica's winner on Louisville over Duke. It was the half-price play of the day. And today, for the half-price play of the day special, going to turn to an equally hot handicapper, that being Anthony Red. You know, Red had a couple of great months there in January and February, hit a bit of a road bump in March, but has since returned to his winning ways. Today, going for his 8th consecutive winning day and his 8th consecutive college basketball winner as well. It's on the George Mason Santa Clara contest tonight, and you are going to get that play for half price simply by using this coupon code RED. It's his last name, guys, so it's REDD. You will get it for half price. Normal price $70. You get it for just $35 simply by using that coupon code RED, REDD, as he goes for winning day number 8 in a row with his 8th consecutive college basketball winner. Yesterday, coming off a college winner on Louisville, and I think he had Wichita State, I believe, was his winner on Saturday. Jeff Benton, congratulations going out to him as he scored yesterday with his 100-dime winner, number 11 out of 13, as Louisville drilled Duke. 22-12 in the big dance now over the past 3 years, making $10 bettors a little over $6,500. Trace Adams, 4-0 big dance weekend sweep. He's going for winning day number 9 out of 13 today. Scott Delaney, $10 bettors up over $7,400 the past 4 months. Chris Jordan, 1,000 star back-to-back winners, his highest rated plays in college basketball this season, with Louisville on Sunday, Syracuse on Saturday. Also, of course, hit one in the big dance with Syracuse upsetting Indiana on Thursday night. And keep in mind, this, of course, the real start of the baseball season. I don't count last night's Astros-Rangers game because did anybody care the Astros were playing the Rangers? I don't think people in Houston cared that the Astros were playing the Rangers last night. But here's the bottom line. Chris Jordan, among the top handicappers here in baseball, $1 bettors in baseball since 2009, have made $13,737. And let's talk about baseball here for just a moment. You know, baseball betting, I've told you many times, it's my favorite sport. It's the easiest sport to make money in. I say this at the beginning of every single season, no matter the sport, the first 3 weeks of the season, the only time you truly have an overwhelming advantage against the odds makers because they don't know what to expect from these teams any more than you do. And also, you're going to find the lines are not nearly as heavy as they progressively get during the baseball season. But baseball betting has certainly changed over the past 20 years. Listen, you know, in the old days, unless it was Roger Clemens or the Big Unit or Carlton in his prime, Seaver in his prime, Nolan Ryan in his prime, Pedro Martinez when he was red hot before the shoulder and arm injuries, you were not laying huge, monstrous prices. Now, when those guys were on a roll and they were pitching great, or Hershiser, etc., hey, you were laying 240 to 300. That's the way it's always been. But nowadays, it's so different. You can be the number 4 starter on a mediocre team that's won 3 straight games at home, and you're suddenly a 180 favorite. That's the way it goes in baseball. So consequently, it's led you, if you're a wise investment gambler out there, to turn more to the run line, whereby your willingness to go ahead and lay the 1.5 runs, you shift the odds and shade them down to your favor. So you've got to always consider the run line plays. Now, 99% of the times here at the site, guys, I do not allow the handicappers, 99% of the times, to release any play that is more than a 160 favorite, because my opinion's always been you don't have to be paying for somebody's advice to be told to bet an overwhelming favorite. But let's talk about real life here as well when it comes to gambling. If you have a bankroll, there's nothing wrong with an occasional bet on a 190 favorite. I mean, seriously, there really isn't anything wrong with it. Why is that team an overwhelming favorite? Because, damn it, they should win. Now, if you're consistently betting 240 favorites on a nightly basis and you're only hitting 3 out of 8, well, guys, you've got some major psychological problems, let alone gambling deficit problems, okay? But the fact is, if you occasionally find that big-time favorite and you've got the bankroll to go with it, go ahead and lay it. It's not going to kill you. Every now and then, playing a heavy favorite is not going to kill you. That's what the sharps do. Listen, the odds makers are well aware of it as well. You know, they keep pushing these lines up because they know still some guys out there will go ahead and bet on them. Again, you can't do it every single day. And you can't do it if you don't have a bankroll. And if you're not successful at doing it, it's a stupid investment strategy. But still, 99% of the time, you have to look at those overwhelming favorites and say, am I willing to take that 200 favorite down to a 115 favorite because I'm willing to go ahead and lay the 1.5 runs? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Now, I tell you the good, I tell you the bad before I get to your free picks. Yesterday, Craig Davis, who, you know, after an incredible 4-month run, has certainly hit the skids. Yesterday, he had a very interesting play. And listen, guys, you know, I'm a guy who is 1-8-1 over the past 10 days. So let me just put that forward here. But I'm also the general manager of the company as well. So I have sucked the past week and a half. But I say all that, prefacing my statement that I'm going to make here about Craig Davis. I don't understand the play yesterday. I don't get the play. Yesterday, he had a 100-dime play, and you know he had been deadly with those 100-dime plays. Just hit a 100-dime college basketball total of the year play with Oregon and Louisville going over the posted total a couple of nights earlier. I think with the 100-dime college basketball plays, he was 6-1 the past 2 years combined, and I think yesterday was 100-dime winner number 11 out of 13 potentially. But he had a 100-dime play yesterday on Florida. Now, Florida was a 3-point favorite, but he took Florida on the money line. I don't get the play. I just don't get it. Florida was 155 favorite on the money line. Now, I can understand if you wanted to play Michigan at plus $1.35 on the money line because you firmly believe the Wolverines, who I gave you as a free pick yesterday, we're going to win that game outright. But I don't understand the logic in taking Florida on the money line at minus 155. You know, it's hard enough to pick winners in this business because there are no gambling guarantees in gambling, as I've always said. But think about that. So you're not confident enough that Florida can win the game by 3 points, but you're saying to yourself, okay, Florida's going to win that game by 1 or 2 points, and that's why I'm going to play it on the money line. I don't get it. Now, true, he certainly had the bankroll to afford to make that play. But listen, guys, I cannot sit here and do these video reports and be the general manager of the company without A, owning up to my own liabilities, 1-8-1 the past 10 days. How I won that one game, damned if I know. I mean, it must have been fixed or something. Without being able to also criticize other people's plays, because I just don't get it. And I'm sure some of you didn't get it either. But hey, listen, if that's the worst thing I can say about Craig Davis, well, damn it, what can I say? I mean, this is the guy who's made you close to $10,000 in the NFL the past couple of years, and who still, despite yesterday's loss, $10 bettors over the past 4 months are still up like $2,600. Okay, let's get to your free selections here today. Santa Clara, minus 7.5 points at home against George Mason. Now, this is the College Basketball Invitational Tournament, so you play a best-of-3 series in this one. So Santa Clara hosts game number 1, then they go to Fairfax, Virginia to take on George Mason in games 2 and potentially game number 3. So tonight, obviously, is a must-win game for Santa Clara. I have been impressed with the way the Broncos have played here in this tournament. It's one of those ABC tournaments that most people overlook, but listen, this team goes to Purdue. okay? And they rally from a halftime deficit, and they beat the Boilermakers in West Lafayette, Indiana, 86-83. Then they go to Wright State, a Wright State team that is one of the best defensive teams in the country, okay? They're giving up like 53 points a game. They beat them up 81-69, again rallying from a halftime deficit. And Kevin Foster, number 22 in the nation this year in scoring, averaging about 19 points a game. He has just exploded here in the postseason. He had 33 points against Wright State. He had 34 points against Purdue. Those were both on the road, and in their home win against Vermont to open the tournament, 77-67 win over the Catamounts, he had 23 points. Now, George Mason did beat Western Michigan, big deal. They beat Houston, big deal in overtime. Both of those at home to reach the championship series. This is a Santa Clara team that has won 6 of its last 7 at home. The only loss coming against St. Mary's, a big dance participant in that stretch. So I'm going to go with them in this particular spot. They're 15-5 at home. I think, as I said, it's a must-win situation. I think having the advantage of a George Mason team that just rarely travels west of the Mississippi, I think that's an advantage for the Broncos here tonight as they go up 1-0 in the best-of-3 series. Now in baseball tonight, I'm going to go with the Braves. Earlier today, Braves were minus 115 against Philadelphia at home. Now you can get them as cheap as 105, depending on where you're shopping, okay? Going with Tim Hudson, I've told you many times, I think the key to winning early in the baseball season is taking a look at how pitchers have done in their final 3 starts of spring training. You always discount the first 2 or 3 starts. They're getting their arm in shape. They're pitching against a bunch of guys that are going to end up in AA and AAA ball or not on any active roster. It's the last 3, maybe sometimes 4 starts that make the most difference, because then you're facing quality competition. You're stretching out. You're going 4 to 7 innings generally. Well, Hudson, to wit, last 3 spring training starts came against the Tigers, the Nationals, and the Mets. 16 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed. This is a guy who, until I researched this game, you really kind of overlooked Tim Hudson from his glory days with the Oakland A's. But, since he returned late in the 2009 season from Tommy John surgery, this guy's gone 51-27, and his earned run average in that span, 3.22. I mean, the last 6 years combined, his ERA is 3.24. The Braves 12-6 against the Phillies last year. The Phillies just have a lot of questions, I should say, in terms of their offense. Is Don Brown going to be a consistent batter, probably in the number 5 hole, most likely for Charlie Manuel's team in left field? Is Ryan Howard and Chase Utley fully recovered, or at least back to being productive after injuries marred their season? For Utley the past 2 years and Howard last year, certainly as he failed to recover adequately from that ruptured Achilles tendon. So can they supply the power? Is Ben Revere, acquired from Minnesota, and Jimmy Rollins, are they going to be able to get on base enough up on the front end? Now, they've got Cole Hamels going tonight, okay? And Hamels had a very strong spring. He's earned his first Major League opening day start because Roy Halladay is not the pitcher he once was. So Hamels deserves to be the ace of the staff and acknowledged as such, getting the opening day call today. However, I look at this Braves team, and okay, McCann, their catcher, out for a while longer. But look at the hitters they've got in the lineup. Chipper Jones, okay, yeah, he's gone, but they went out and got Justin and B.J. Upton. This is a strong lineup that can put some runs on the board. Do I think this is going to be an 8-7 game? No, I don't. Do I think it's going to be a low-scoring game between Hudson and the Braves bullpen against Hamels and the Phillies bullpen? Yes. But at that price, I got to go with the home team. So Atlanta's going to be the play at 105, maybe 107, 110 you have to lay. Those are your 2 free picks today, Atlanta Braves and Santa Clara. Best of luck to you guys, and I will catch you again on Tuesday when we do this once more.